guys, I'm back. I'm going to be doing a story time video with you guys. Sharing with you guys how I found out I was pregnant when I was 16 with my daughter. So yeah, she's my oldest daughter. She'll almost be 11 this year, which is so cool. So let me see where to start. Okay, so I guess to start with, I was with my ex-boyfriend at the time for 3 years by then. I think it was 3 years. Yeah, I was with him for 3 years. Okay, close with his mom. My mom knows him, my dad knows him, everything like that. My dad was super strict and my parents at the time were actually, we were super close and super close knit. So we shared everything together. We were like best friends and everything. We had the same whatever. So anytime I would go to his house and braid his hair, we would actually do it. I'm not gonna say the real word because my daughter is in the room, but we would actually do it, which is not okay. Now that I'm older, I know that it's not okay when you're 14, 15, whatever. It's not okay for that. I don't think we actually did anything for the first year and a half, almost 2 years, because I was not planning on doing anything because of me. I'm actually going to share a losing my virginity story with you guys. So yeah, which is the reason why I waited for 2 extra years to do anything. So I think it was after I was 15. So when you're 15, I believe that you should not be doing anything without being protected because it's very, very important. Now that I'm older, I know that and I'm much wiser. But at the time, of course, you're whatever. You think you're in love and you think that he's like the person you're going to marry and all this crap that you just really don't understand. But you think you know everything because you're a teenager and you basically rule the world, basically. So yeah, I was 15. I actually didn't find out until I was, this is so weird, but I didn't find out I was pregnant until I was 7 months, almost 7.5 months, something around there. So I literally had like a month and a half to get ready for my daughter to come. I've actually taken tests before. My mom actually bought me a test and made me take it in my room. And when she bought me the test, I think she bought me 2, if I believe. I think she did. She bought me 2. She made me wait an hour between each one. She bought me a test. The first test said negative. Then she bought me another test. An hour later I took that one. And that one said negative as well. Now this whole time, like my family used to go on like a lot of like holiday trips and everything. So like for Christmas we would go to like a different, like a huge hotel kind of like cabin resort thing. And we would go swimming and stuff, and of course I had a 2-piece because I was super skinny and stuff. So I had a 2-piece, so my belly was out the entire time. You couldn't tell nothing because I was super flat and I wasn't showing. I was in marching band and I played clarinet. So I was I think I was second chair. I wasn't first chair, but I was like second or third chair. So I was like very prominent in marching band. I know we had, that's another thing too. I guess while I was pregnant with my daughter, I was at band camp and everything, which is another story. I was at band camp and I just didn't know. Of course, like we went to band camp for a week. So we like went swimming and everything and nothing changed on me. So I didn't have any symptoms, like I didn't have none of that. I wasn't sick or nothing. So I had a very easy, very good pregnancy with my daughter. Cheerleading captain. So I was cheerleading at the time too. And I was doing cheerleading competitions while being pregnant because I didn't know. And the reason why I didn't know I was pregnant is because I had, like my periods were super heavy and long, but then they were regular at the same time back then. So super crazy and super like weird, but I had constant periods and everything. So I don't know what was going on with my body. It just, I didn't have any like cravings as much, but now that I remember looking back, I do remember coming home, and every day I came home from school I would sleep a lot, but I always used to sleep a lot. So when I would come home from school any other time, like the year before or whatever, I would still just sleep a lot because I had nothing else to do. So I would do my homework and watch TV or whatever and just lay there and sleep. I do remember eating a lot of cereal, but I always liked cereal. And I like a lot of fruit, so I will always eat fruit, cereal and fruit. And I guess that's like a symptom for you having a girl, I guess. But I didn't know at the time. And then I remember that I had my oldest cousin, which is one of my favorite cousins. She had her come to me and talk to me about having sex with my ex and if I was doing it. And of course, me being me, I told her no, and everybody knew differently, obviously. But no one knew that I was pregnant because I didn't know I was pregnant either. But I remember Aunt was going to take me to the doctors to get birth control. Because my cousin was like, well, she needs to be on birth control because we think she's doing it and everything. So I think it was like the week before I found out I was actually pregnant. Because when I found out, I don't know how, but my mom bought another test. I think so. So that one came up positive. And then my mom, I think her initial reaction, she wasn't like pissed off. She might have been very pissed off though, but she just didn't show it. But my mom was like very, what's the word? Kind of understanding. So we ended up, she gave me my options. She said either I can keep the baby, go to an abortion clinic, or I can have the baby and give the baby up for adoption. So I was actually like, I don't know what to do. Of course, I'm like 16, like I don't know what to do with myself. So yeah, we did that test and then we went to see the doctor. We ended up going to an abortion clinic to find out. So I think that they did free testing or something like that. But we went to an abortion clinic to find out if I was actually pregnant and like how far along I was, if I was pregnant. So we went there. My mom came and got me the middle of school. I think she came and got me right after lunch. And when we went there, I just remember going in there and laying on the table, and the lady was like, oh, well, yeah, honey, sorry, but yeah, you're not gonna be having an abortion. I'm like, well, I didn't come here for an abortion because that just wasn't what I was trying to do. I wasn't trying to have an abortion. I just wanted to know if I was or not. She's like, well, good news is you are pregnant. And she's like cheesing and smiling and stuff, and I'm like, are you serious? Like, what? What? My mom was just standing there like, okay, what's the rest of the information? So then she's like, well, honey, I hope you're gonna have a great summer because you're gonna have about a baby in about a month and a half. And I'm like, what? A month and a half? What are you talking about? So she's like, yeah, honey, sorry, but you're like 7 months pregnant. And I'm like, 7 months? What? I'm like, I didn't have any like prenatal pills, none of that. I didn't show any symptoms. After we left the abortion clinic, we went straight to my ex's mom's house, which I was very close with her. And we sat down and told her. Now, mind you, when we told her, it was about 1:30ish, like 1:45. In our school, since we were in high school at the time, our schools got out at 3:10, like 3:15 kind of. So we were actually sitting there talking, and she was telling me, I remember clear as day, she was telling me like how everything basically falls on the woman, period. Regardless if the man is around, the man is in the picture or not, everything really falls on the woman. Like all the decision making, anything like that automatically falls on the women. So she was telling me again, you have a choice. Since you're pregnant, you can have 2 options. You can keep the baby, have the baby, and we'll help you with the baby, whatever. Then she was like, your other choice is to get a baby up for adoption. And I'm like, adoption? I don't want to have no baby and then they take my baby from me. So I'm like, no, that's not going to happen. So I just remember her, they were like, well, we got to get on the ball. You got to get your prenatal vitamins. You got to go straight to the doctor. I think we told her on Friday is when it happened, because the next Monday I was supposed to go to school, but I ended up not going to school that next Monday because my mom made an appointment for me to go to the doctor to get prenatal pills. And so by this time, it's like I'm almost 8 months pregnant. So I had to do everything super quick and everything. Yeah, so it wasn't like I had like time to just prepare. I threw me a baby shower at the last minute, which I'm so thankful for. Thank you so much to my aunts and my cousin. So yeah, so I had a baby shower for my daughter, and all my mom's clients came, and everything worked out great because I had a lot of stuff for her. And yeah, so that was a trip. We waited for my ex to come home from school. And by this time, it was like 3:45, 4 o'clock, okay? So he walks in the door, and he's like, why is everybody sitting here, and your mom's here? Because we're all, so she had like this sectional couch that like went around like the living room, and the couch is facing the door. So we're all just like blank stared, looked at him and stared him down like, and he's like, why are y'all looking at me like that? He's like, what happened? What happened? He's like, tell me what happened. So my mom's like, well, Tracy, that was like my daughter's grandma. And she's like, congratulations, you're about to be a father. He's like, like you could have seen on his face, he was about to pass out. Like it's crazy, it's funny now. But he was like about to pass out, right? So I don't know. So once everybody left, my mom, like, I stayed there and stayed with her. My mom left, and my mom told me when she was leaving, call your dad and tell your dad. Now, if you guys knew my dad, telling that man anything without him being pissed off into something horrible is like pure hell. Like, for real, something you just don't want to do. And I was just like, oh my God, like, I have to tell my dad? I don't want to tell my dad I'm pregnant. Like, are you kidding me? And I'm 16? I'm like, my dad's gonna kill me. I'm like, well, maybe it won't be that bad because he's not with me, so he's like away. So I ended up calling my dad and telling my dad. My dad gave me an answer I did not expect. My dad was like, oh, congratulations. What? I said, Dad, what did you say? Congratulations. And he hung up on me. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, okay, whatever. So I didn't call back because I knew not to call him back. And I knew I had to go over there that weekend. No, I was not calling him back. I'm like, I'll just face the music when I see him. So I just remember seeing my dad and my stepmom. My stepmom was more on my side and trying to like calm my dad down. She was just like, well, we're just gonna get through it. You don't have enough time, so we're gonna get stuff. And I remember she took me to the store and bought a lot of stuff for the baby and everything. So everything worked out in my favor. My dad ended up not being much of a jerk. Honestly, he wasn't a jerk at all. He was just a regular, like a regular dad, obviously. So just like an overprotective dad, like what are you gonna do and all this stuff, and you're gonna ruin your life, all that kind of stuff. So I kind of went through that with my dad, but not too much. But yeah, when I had my daughter, everything was cool and everything. So yeah, I'm gonna be doing a labor and delivery story next. So that's kind of how I found out I was pregnant after 7 months of being pregnant. Craziness, I just didn't know I was pregnant. So yeah, that was my story. Now my baby's almost 11. So crazy how time just flies like that. But yeah, next story time I'm going to be doing is a labor and delivery story. So stay tuned. Bye guys.